Good morning. Today is December 18th, 2020. And today I decided to make a video about how to effectively start your day. Effectively. Um, Not starting it from necessarily what yesterday could have looked like. Yesterday could have been a good day for you. But basically, that today is a brand new day. But I'm going to say that for me, I have learned new practices. Not that I wasn't doing them, but putting everything in its place. And that would definitely have to be with how I'm viewing what the what the day could look like, but also giving the power to the one who controls the day. So I will be basically using words that pretty much all start with the letter P. So I feel to have an effective day or the starting of your day is prayer. I feel there is power in prayer. I also feel like there is power in who you are giving the power to. Are you giving the power to yourself that you are going to control your entire day? You're going to control the energy, the feels of what your day could be. And in reality, we can't do that because if you put, let's just create an atmosphere and say, when you walk into your workplace, you're used to hearing music, you're used to hearing people full of life, full of love, but you premeditated yourself to feel like that's where you were going to find your peace, was once you walked into that atmosphere, versus you praying, giving the power to God, who holds all power in his hands, to then start your day off creating yourself a peaceful atmosphere within, so that regardless if you walked in and nobody spoke, there was no music playing, there was nobody laughing, you have already created that peaceful space within, so that now you can be what the environment is lacking. So that is basically not only starting your day at home, but already saying who you're going to be when you step foot wherever it is. It could be the grocery store. I can't tell you, since this pandemic has been going on, that I have not walked into a store, no matter where it was, and not shared a laugh with a stranger. When I say it doesn't matter if they were looking at ketchup, we found something to laugh about. It didn't matter when people were looking at the aisles, the checkout lines where it says express 12 items or less, or the one that says full service, and they pushing their baskets trying to look at it and count their items, and we just look at each other and just laugh. I didn't go in the store and premeditate that I'm gonna find somebody to laugh with, but I also didn't go in my mind saying, okay, well, I'm gonna have a good shopping experience if someone makes me laugh. No. But I said that to say that how you start your day within matters. How you start your day with you matters. So how we plan our day, how we prepare our day, how we prioritize our day. What purpose are we going to be in our day? What purpose do we plan to fulfill? Where for me, a lot of times, and I'm going to bring the store up because that's not where I work, but that's where someone else works. So I always just find something to say. It doesn't matter with how's your day going, or I really like your hair. I really like your glasses, or something, and in that moment, they get to smile, they get to laugh, they get to think, wait, they actually care about me beyond that I'm just the person who's ringing up their items. You know, what purpose outside of purpose? Like, I'm a teacher, but outside of being a teacher, what else could I do? You know, also giving yourself grace and giving others grace in progression, because we will never be perfect. I repeat, never, ever. No matter how hard you try. It just doesn't matter. You just never be perfect. And guess what? It's okay, because we were created by perfect hands. Like by perfect hands, meaning he made no mistakes. I don't care if there's doctors out here who will fix your eyes and the size of your nose and your mouth and your ears. They will never touch me. God meant for these eyes to be wherever they are, my nose to be the shape it is, my lips to be the size they are, my ears to be as formed as they are, and my innermost parts he formed. So how in the world am I going to get somebody to change something that he made perfectly? So, about giving yourself grace is basically understanding that we won't always get it right. We just won't. We can even do all of these things. Pray, give the power back to who holds it, planning and prioritizing, and even creating a space of walking in our purpose and still miss the mark. These things are not to say that everything is going to align, but it's also saying you are trusting in the one who holds the power, which means if he's holding the power, we are now creating peace and knowing that he controls it, which versus thinking you do. That is when we walk around heavy. That's when we walk around with unneeded weight that we don't need to carry. In partnership, because a lot of times we will see that we think that we are Superman or Superwoman, and that is what causes burnout, because we feel like we're supposed to wear 50 million hats, because these 50 million hats, we know how to effectively do each one, but we can't effectively do it with all hats. If I put one hat on my head, that is all that I could put on my head. If I put one hat on, put a baseball cap on top of that, put a beanie on top of that, it's too much. It's not saying that we don't all have different titles and different roles, but what I'm saying is if we don't prioritize them or effectively walk in them and giving ourselves grace in each one, there's going to be a lot of hats that's going to be neglected, overlooked, and you're going to be overworked and overbooked. So partnership is understanding that sometimes there are some things that we need to ask help for. There are some things that someone has to partner with us for it to work more effectively. It doesn't take away from your ability or your skill to get it done. It basically saying that you're understanding, I can't do this, and this. And it all flow healthy. There's things that can get done, but they're not being done in a healthy form or way. So, what I wrote for myself today is, if you see the need for help, be the help. That's what it is. You hear people go to jobs and say, that ain't in my job title. That ain't in my expectations. For me, I'm a such and such. I'm a this. I'm a servant. So, as one of my close friends that I work alongside, we're always trying to think of something to do to help. And a lot of times that may means we are overly burdening ourselves with things, but there's a healthy way to see it. And that's what I said. If you see the need for help, be the help in the best way that you can. Not do it with an attitude, not doing what you know you need to do this, so I'm doing this because I'm trying to help you. No, it's not. God not going to be pleased if we do it, but we mumbling and murmuring and have all these other ungodly thoughts. He is going to honor knowing that we did it with a cheerful heart. And that, for me, is what makes me see things in a bigger picture. As I shared a verse with that same friend, Galatians 6:9, let us, not let me or let them, but let us not grow weary in well doing. For in due season we will reap a harvest if, you hear all of that, let us not let us sometimes, let us not grow weary in well doing good. For in due season, may not be today, may not be tomorrow, but in due season, we will reap a harvest if we faint not. That means it may be tough, may not understand. You may have prioritized and planned, but Today is going to be a little bit of a heavier load. But because you prayed and you put the power back in his hands, he's going to give you the strength. But faint not. So with these things, when we tackle each day, whether we're in our homes or outside of our homes or anything that we have to do, we have to realize who's our source and who holds the power. If we walk around thinking that we hold all the power in our hands and that's it, and we just juggling it, these problems, these struggles, these headaches, these fears, these feelings, or these plans and these ideas and all of that, we holding in our own two hands, just walking around step by step, step by step. We become burned out, busybodies, selfish, not giving people grace because we think that it's meant for us to run races on our own. No, it's not. It's just not. And we just have so much purpose within us. Everybody's purpose doesn't look like somebody else's purpose. And also, not everybody's purpose has anything to do with wealth. And I think a lot of people get that mixed up. Having purpose or a calling doesn't mean that what God may have for you is something that you reap benefits from. As far as money wise, it may be souls. It may be being things in private, things that your purpose may be private purpose, where nobody will never see it but the people that you do it for, the people who you help, the people that you speak into, the people that you love. It may be private purpose. It's not something to publicize. It's not something that the whole world needs to see. It may just silly be something that you help somebody and it helped a family that then helped them to minister to somebody else. It helped it go, and it was all private. But then you were able to see it and you like, whoa. Like it started with a little seed, a seed that you planted. And we don't have to take everything to social media all the time. We don't have to. There's a lot of things that we can do in secret because we're doing it out of love. There are some things that need to be publicized and, be an example of being a light in the community or in this world. There is, but there are a lot of things that I feel we have purpose behind closed doors, purpose in private, so don't feel that if you haven't discovered your purpose or calling, that is something that is, going to be a lack in your household because your personal ministry may not have anything to do with money. It may have all to just to be with just you being who you are. It may just you being alongside of somebody at the workplace. It may be you just being that student in the classroom, a person who just was a good listening ear. And that's your purpose, being a good listener. Your purpose may just be somebody who smiles all the time. Like you just happy as all the time in public. And those smiles help somebody that you never knew they were suffering in silence. So yeah. This is just my spiel on us just being effective in this world. And if we just took a little bit more time to search ourselves, then search the internet, I know we would be better people. And here's a big P, God has many promises for us all. He hasn't run out of them. He hasn't. And he keeps them. They may not come when we want them. Because I can tell you. I got some I could tell you. I ain't seen it yet. But that don't mean I don't believe I'm not going to. So yeah. Y'all have a blessed Friday. Think great. Be great. Because you are great.